Let me first turn to you, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, because you are a sitting serving politician with the Congress party. After this debacle in the Hindi heartland, would I be right in saying the Congress is no longer the magnet for this opposition alliance? That therefore, the Congress also now is at best one of many parties that will have to come together. You're not even first among equals.
I don't think you would be right in saying that, Rajdeep ji, because the Congress is the only really real national party in the alliance. We have vote shares and we have cadre across the entire country. Second, I want to say that, when the opinion polls were coming out for this particular round of elections, many of your colleagues, and I think you yourself, had very painstakingly pointed out that this will have no impact, or has rather not had any impact in the past, on the national elections in the same states. So, if it's not
with
going to
one caveat, Mr. Kumar Mangalam, I had said that this was a semi-final for the Congress. If the Congress did well in these elections, you would have the momentum to, in a way, set the agenda for the opposition alliance. That may not happen anymore.
No, I think the Congress has successfully run 2 coalition governments and is very apt at being able to set the agenda and is able to negotiate multiple viewpoints into one common agenda. We've done it more than once before. So whether we lose an election or win an election, it doesn't harm our ability to coordinate with other parties in any which way. Let me get back to my point of saying that I don't think this has any impact on the national election. Second, if you look at some analysis that was done by Yogendra Yadavji recently, he took the exact vote shares in all the assemblies in every particular parliament and actually came out with a number that said that the Congress, if these vote shares, the ones where we've lost horribly in these states that you're talking about, if you take just these vote shares with no increase, we're still about 22 parliament seats more than we were in the last election.
You cannot, let me, because I have been trolled on Twitter for this. While that's an interesting data point that the vote shares of the Congress, if extrapolated from Vidhan Sabha to Lok Sabha, would give you most seats. The fact is, a Lok Sabha poll is very different to Vidhan Sabha. So that, that's the reality. You may have got 38% vote share in Rajasthan, you may have got 40% vote share in a Chhattisgarh. That does not mean that you're going to transfer that to Vidhan Sabha, to Lok Sabha. That's when the Modi factor will play out.
I absolutely agree with you, Rajdeep ji, which is why I'm saying that I have no idea why we're even having a conversation about how these elections impacts our ability to coordinate in a multi-party alliance for Lok Sabha.
It is impacting you because you're not setting the narrative anymore. Let me bring just a minute. Let me bring Pavan Verma. Let me bring in Pavan Verma on that. Pavan Verma, here you've got Mohan Kumar Mangalam of the Congress saying it will have no impact on Lok Sabha 2024. That's a national battle. These are state battles. Don't mix the two issues.
Thank you, Rajdeep. Normally, I do believe that there is a difference between assembly elections and how the voter votes in parliamentary elections. But these elections, with the sweeping victory of the BJP in 3 major states in the north, where it was in direct conflict with the Congress, I think reinforces the perception that in 2024, whatever fight was left for the Congress to give in about 200 seats at least, where it's directly opposed to the BJP, has greatly diminished. Even if the Congress had done better, there was more than a likelihood that the same voter in a parliamentary election would have voted for the BJP, because nobody wants an unstable coalition with clashing egos and unsure narratives. That's point number 1. Point number 2, I think the Congress has perfected the art of finding reasons to believe that nothing ever has gone wrong with the party. Whereas the truth is that it has been in verifiable decline, not after 2014, after 1984. The last time it won a majority on its own was in 1984. After that, it has been in coalition governments. And after 2014, it has been ousted in a very substantive sense and has done nothing over the 9 years on 5 factors which are important. One is face, one is leadership, one is organization, one is narrative, and one is, unfortunately, I say this because I have otherwise great respect for Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, this stranglehold of the family. So, for the Congress now to believe that in the parliamentary election it can build a superstructure of hope on a foundation that doesn't exist, by which I mean an organization. The Congress organization has more or less withered away. And if it has a percentage base still, that is a consequence of the fact that the Congress was the mother of all party for decades. And there is a support base that still lingers. But it has done nothing in these last 10 years to optimize it, to incrementalize it, to capitalize on it.
I take you're making very, you're virtually almost writing the obituary of the Congress. Is it premature? Sanjay Jha as Pavan Verma seems to be virtually writing the obituary of the Congress, especially in the Hindi heartland. And you cannot win India without winning the Hindi heartland. I will throw 2 numbers at you that I keep quoting. Lots of others have since taken them up without attributing them to me. But I had put this in my book of 2019. In 2019, out of 186 direct fights, Congress, BJP won 171. In 2014, out of 186 direct fights, Congress, BJP won 162. So the fact is, unless the Congress gets its act together in these direct fights, how does this opposition alliance even work? The Congress is the main Kamzor Khadi if these numbers are to be taken into account. You're on mute, Mr. Jha. You need to be on unmute yourself.
Rajiv, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
I think we need to bite the bullet on this very, very serious conversation. The Congress remains, in my opinion, a very ideological narrative for the country. But it needs to recognize the responsibility it carries. Now, there is a sliver of hope in Telangana. I'm not going to deny that. And I think Yogendra Yadav came up with the number that the Congress has got 10 lakh votes more than the BJP. And all those, I think, are reasonably comforting points. But the bottom line in a first past the post system is, did you win the state or did you not? And I think that is, in my opinion, the biggest worry for the Congress. And I'll tell you, I have written about it and I have, been castigated by the Congress, seniors very often for this. But it's not just Madhya Pradesh that the Congress has lost when it should have won. In fact, should have won in 18 and retained it. But look at Odisha, look at Gujarat, where you haven't won since 25 years. Forget West Bengal and Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, etc., etc. So the Congress is now developing an extremely dicey track record, but it is not able to win a state, and when it loses, it actually abandons them forever. That, to me, is the real problem that the Congress faces. And I think, today it is going to be an existential challenge. I wouldn't call it a crisis yet, because if you lose 2024, and I need to say it here, I agree with you, Rajdeep, that you can't conflate this result with the Lok Sabha. A week is a long time in politics and a lot can change. But we cannot deny that the Congress could have seized an advantage, which has now further actually emboldened the BJP into believing and Narendra Modi into saying that a hat-trick is on its way. And I think politics is a battle of perceptions, Rajdeep. Today, the perception of the average swing voter will be that, I think the BJP is likely to win 2024. And that is not good news in politics. You got to seize the impression that not only are you there in the fight, but you're a potential winner.
Okay.
And therefore, I would say one last point, Rajdeep. We keep talking about inflation, jobs, governance, corruption. But I want to put one thought before the panel. Like it or not, one reason why Narendra Modi and the BJP are very cocky is because since 2014, identity politics overwhelms the more tangible, tactile issues of an election. And until the Congress develops a counter narrative to the Hindutva campaign, which cannot be a sporadic Hinduism versus Hindutva debate. You need a narrative to explain your point of view. I think you are going to seize the road to the BJP.
You know, we've heard about the need for a counter narrative for a very long time. I'll come to you, Mohan. I know you're itching to get into those who are writing off the Congress so easily at a time when you won a state like Telangana, not an easy state to win.